100% sure. It's been a while. Anyway, if it is, kia ora te whānau. Welcome to the NRL free. Well, sorry, let's just backtrack a bit. The Warriors Fan TV for 2026, our NRL season 2026. The preseason trials, eh? So I think a couple of the boys are going to jump on tonight. Tans is going to jump on, but because of the weather and all the rest of it, it's she was saying it's turning pretty ugly in Wellies at the moment. And she has to do a mercy dash to Eastbourne and Stokes Valley. So, all the aroha to you to the Tans, and I hope you and your whānau, your papa, and everyone else hope they're all good. Just hunkering down through this horrible weather. So big love to you, bro. Hope you're doing all right. Okay, and I guess we better get this ball rolling. Just while we're waiting for the boys to jump on, couple of things on the agenda for tonight as we kick off. I mean, obviously the preseason game, the Warriors game, on Saturday up in Napier. Had a couple of mates, couple of workmates messaging from the game, and one of the things the bro said was like, "Yeah, no streakers this time. It was choice." So that was good to hear. The Indigenous game, so that was Saturday. The Indigenous game on yesterday. Sorry, just gonna miss Damian. Sorry, bro. Trying to get my phone to work. All good, my bro. All good. Oh, okay. Jazz. Hang on. How do I share that? Jazz just shared comment. What's up, bro? Good to see you again, bro. My bro, good to see you too, Jazz. Looking forward to the season. What's that? I'm just trying to figure out. I haven't had a to-do with the restream for ages. So I'm hoping I got this. Oh no, I think I just fucked it up. How do I show the comments? Oh, kia ora, bro.
Kia ora, bro. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, brother. How are you?
Yeah, good, brother. How are you?
Yeah, good, my bro. Good to see you. Good to see you. Like the hat.
Likewise. Oh, yeah, we have to.
Yeah. I was just kind of going over. I just got to just my shout out to Tans and hopefully hearing it whānau all good, the weather stuff. But the preseason game against Manly, the Indigenous games yesterday, they state of origin, the rule changes. Want to go over there, and just the Warriors Dolphins game this Friday. So yeah, that's the layout, my bro. How are you, Ty?
Yeah, good, bro. Guess another year older, hopefully another year wiser. I probably have to say it's been really good to see an off season of NRL where there wasn't too much, I guess, off-field drama, if I put it that way. So looking forward to this year and watching our boys ripping.
Yeah, bro, hard. I can't remember how to post the comments. So Jazz posted Happy New Year. Oh, show. Is that it? Oh yeah. Hey, mate. Okay, couple. This is
cheers, Jazz.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, might as well roll into the Manly game. It was that was. What's your take on it, bro? Because I've got my take. I just kind of was talking about, the Napier crowd. Awesome to see sell out. Awesome to hear the drums. The Warriors PR crew, whoever they are, they do such a good job promoting the game. The boys, the team, the whole atmosphere is just rocks, bro.
Yeah, totally.
What was your take, my bro?
I guess, first and foremost, it was just good to see, I guess, the Warriors uniform running around.
What did you think of that preseason jersey?
Oh, yeah, I've seen mixed reactions around it. I think a lot of people it looks a little bit more like football, soccer, and I see that too.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of that online, but hey, I actually don't mind. I actually wouldn't mind copying my own one if I had to be honest. So it's cool to see like different jerseys in preseason.
Yeah. And the Warriors do it well. Our preseason jerseys, because they only wear them twice. It's like the Indigenous jerseys or the Heritage jerseys, whatever, throughout the season, And it's just like I did like it. I liked the green on the blue, just styly. But again, the Warriors do it well. Warriors do it well. Kia ora, Greg. Good to see you too, bro. Good to see you on board, brother. The game, yeah. So like, there was a squeal of Dimitrik running off the back fence, and I was just like, bro,
Yeah,
that was me, bro. And even that first hit up was just like, he's if he plays like that this season, bro, just running it straight like that, it's going to be like, oh my goodness. Those games that he played last year where he ran it off the back fence is just like, he's just committed, eh? He fearless, bro.
yeah, bro. There's no handbraking going on there.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. The good to see it. There was a like the balance between some of those young fellas coming through. Good to see Mella out on the wing. Yeah, man, we got some tall timber in our team this year, bro.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and what's his name? The young Pommy kid,
Gannon.
Gannon. Yeah. I'm glad he got a good run. I'm glad he kind of stuck at it. Mainly, and mainly, it was for me. It was kind of interesting that Webby was Uncle. It looked like his focus for this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's this coming Friday as well. But like our bench was just stacked with the New South Wales Cup boys, and whether he's doing it just to give our boys a little bit extra time, just to rest up before the actual season kicks off. But we were. Yeah, I did like it. I did like it, like the whole just seeing Ali out there giving it getting stuck in and just barring injuries. I'm hoping he can cement a role in that centre position. It's still one of those
It's a
key
tough one.
roles. Yeah, it is, bro. It is. We've got to try and lock it in. But yeah. So on reflection, it was. What was your take on the first half?
Yeah, I'll be honest, and probably Warriors fans won't want to hear this, but I missed the first 15 minutes. So I didn't actually get to see a lot of it. I went and watched the replay and got to see it, so just putting it out there. But in terms of my I think it was again good to see boys out there running. For the most part, like it's a preseason, so I don't want to dial too much in, but I just would love to see a little bit more flair that happens. Obviously, it's preseason. No one wants to get injured. Everyone's just back out there. But it was just for me. It was just kind of substandard. Getting through the sets, kicking it. I think for me, I was more exciting seeing the young bucks come on at the end, to be honest, and seeing them have a go, really give it, really give it a good go. Good to see Ali get. The only 2 tries. It felt like for a while. But I don't know. There's not much I could have taken out of it. I felt like it was just going through kind of the plays and just kind of getting boys to have a hit out. I think what was interesting for me too is and again, not trying to say that we should try and unpack too much of the preseason, but just seeing Lekas play at the centres. I think for me, it's a question of are they looking at him being a Cape Well utility throughout the year that if someone goes down, they might want to put him out there. I just want to see him be a second row in some stint. Like obviously we've got Cape Well and Gannon was out there. Maybe he would have just come off the bench. But yeah, there was just something about me where I'm like, what is this signaling? Is this a sign of like him getting used to if he has ever called for it to go out there? I kind of hope not. I think one thing that I was reflecting on is that given that we'll have that kind of 6-man bench this year, maybe one of those, 6 is a centre or a fullback. So we don't have to worry about these utilities having to kind of slide in. Everyone can just play their position. That was the only probably thing that I was like, what's the I guess approach here? Is he going to be someone that's moved in between? But yeah, other than that, it was just like cool to see the boys out there. That was kind of what I took from it.
Yeah. The whole liquor playing centre because admittedly we've got heaps of. Oh, here comes the bro. We've got heaps of our second row we're pretty stacked. Oh, kia ora, bro.
What, brother?
Good to see you, bro. Can you got your sound? Do we have to talk with our hands? Oh, we can't hear you, bruh. Jeez, I need to put you on the comments. Oh, the comments are rolling through too. Shucks, I better catch up. Good to see you, D-Man. Good to see you. I'm not sure about that Tuesday, my bro. Yeah, Jez, I love the trial kit too. Yeah, I do love the trial kit. What else we got? Obviously, a disappointing result. Yeah. But mean to see some of our new recruits and young guns looking for improvement against the Finns next week. Yeah, bro, absolutely. And fair to say, bro, because that second half, I reckon a good 30 minutes of it was our New South Wales Cup team. That pretty much come on and play the rest of the game, and they scored 2 good tries. And I'll be honest, bro, I don't know any of those players, but just to see them come on and do their thing, and so it really was a cup team up against almost full strength Manly side. So they were. It cracked me up the way Manly were jumping around at the end. I was just like, bro, you fellas still got one more game. Obviously, they're chasing their 100K. So yeah. But it was, even though they were our cup side, those boys held their own, and they were, Again, it's kind of like it's just. I guess it was more a reflection of where Uncle's where Uncle Arno's head's at.
Yeah.
We got sound.
We got some sound, bro.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, long time coming. Good to see you guys too.
Yeah, bro.
Good to see you, bro.
What were you gonna say, Toy?
Just talking about the Young Bucks. I, similar to yourself, obviously I watch stuff online and try and keep up with who's coming through, but a lot of them I haven't seen much football from them. But there were a couple of standouts for me. I thought Tofu was one. That came on. He did a couple solid hits, and that try that he got was pretty impressive. Probably a long shot, for the next couple of years to even be in top Warrior side, given we've got Egan and Healy there, but he showed a lot of promise just from watching him from that game. It was cool to see Harry Inch out there. I know he's had a lot of reps coming from rugby. I think for me personally, just watching him, you can tell there's definitely a rugby mold there. Just the way that he stands beyond the line, he's still. I think league is halves are hitting the line, where he's still trying to catch it a typical 10, which is something that can obviously be worked on and molded, but it's just those little things I was noticing where you see someone that I think it was Jack Thompson, the way that he was playing, that young little half that chucked that long ball for one of those tries. You can see how he was approaching the line. So it was just there were some young bucks that I was really impressed with, and just seeing them out there. Like I said before, I felt the first half was just substandard Warriors, kick the ball, make some tackles, go back and forth. So it was good to see a bit of spark at the end, as well as what I was
bro. Yeah, bro. What was your take, Damien? What was your take on that trial game, bro?
Yeah, to be expected. A lot of people are going to take, Warriors lost, that shit. It's not about the result at the end of the day. It's about just seeing some young blood having a crack. And we got to see plenty of that. It's unfortunate that there's a few players in the Warriors squad that are injured, because it would have been awesome to see them have a run. Like, for example, Jet Cleary. But yeah, it was what it was. I think the next trial would be more of a look at what our top lineup will be, our starting 13 for the round 1. But yeah, it was just about seeing some young guys have a crack, and it was good to see that happen.
Yeah, bro. Do you fellas know where Friday's game is? I saw that it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. I couldn't see where the venue was.
I don't know. It's on Sky Go.
True that, my bro. So I'm thinking, I'm tempted to just go straight to the pub after work, park up, have a couple of beers.
Nice.
See at 8 o'clock, but is it 8 o'clock here? Or 8 o'clock over there? If the game's over there, kind of thing. It's a 10 o'clock kickoff. So, still trying to toss that one up, bro. But the game, atmosphere wise,
it's at Leichhardt.
Okay.
Yeah, Leichhardt, 8 p.m. New Zealand time, so 6 p.m. their time, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, I'd love to know who does the Warriors PR stuff because they just, man, they turn it on, eh? You know, the just the atmosphere at the games, and like in a little town, and I think you made the comment during the week, Damien. It was kind of like must have been on the Sunday. Good thing there was no streakers.
Yeah,
So,
pitch invaders, bro. Maybe the
yeah.
NRL looked a bit more favourably towards Napier, right, after their Broncos game.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Because there just didn't look like there was any bullshit going on. So that was good. But the Warriors did do well. They do well. Looking forward to Friday's night game. If it's a more settled squad, more leaning into what Uncle wants, I wouldn't mind seeing that. A couple more of these, like that Luke Henson. Yeah, I liked him. I liked him at half. He was he looked pretty solid, and like when Dimitri went off in Tanner come on, and it was like, the commentary was saying that's him, he's done, and it was just like, so was that an injury call or was Uncle just resting him? Did Uncle just thought, no, fuck it, save him for next week kind of thing. We're lucky that we've got a bit of depth there amongst. Well, we've just got a shitload of second rowers. They can almost snake from second row to the front row. So it's going to be Friday night. I'm looking forward to Friday night, especially now that's been confirmed. It's 8:00. It's like, oh, chores. Couple of hours at the pub. I don't mind that.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, and I mean, it's never a fair indicator when the first preseason game. It's just like, nah, this is what it is.
You can't take much out of the result.
Yeah, bro. But I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if Uncle kind of rests a couple more and give those young fellas another shot. Like he might start full strength side and then by half time, whatever, might roll some of those young boys.
That's what I'm expecting to start with the starting 13, but then after, say, 15, 20 minutes, even 25, then you start seeing the young fellas come on, have a crack.
Yeah, bro. Praying that Ali and Rocco in particular have a real awesome season and can stay healthy and on the park. Oh, bro, Rocco, as long as Rocco stays free, that's his biggest thing at the moment. But so that's pretty much a wrap on the Manly game. I don't want to talk up the Manly side. I mean, they won. Who cares? But the Indigenous games, you boys catch the Indigenous games?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I'll be honest. So the touch, the Indigenous Māori side, honestly, bro, it was like a whānau team. I was thinking, are these guys the best? Like, are they NRL players or what? It was just like,
nah, bro.
Yeah, but they won, and it was just like, they got away, they got ahead of the Abos, and the Abos came back, and then the fucking, that was, and they had the smaller field and stuff. Like, I haven't watched the game in touch for years, so it was good. It was good to watch.
I should say that I probably need to give it up just with where my body's at, but I do play touch, and a lot of those players that are playing are some of our best in our country, some of our Māori team. But I think what added to it was the weather. There was a lot of errors in that game that you don't normally see with some of those players, so the weather had a bit of an impact in the weekend. But good to see the Māoris get up, that was for sure. That was
heck yeah. And like even the women's game, I'll tell you what, bro, there's some pretty pale-skinned Abos in there, and the Indigenous team was just like, far out, a couple of blondies, a redhead, they were, and like even the physical appearance, like our Māori girls, some of those girls are built like tanks, bro, and they just ran all day, good to see Harata out there, colours and like, because the crowd was slowly starting to come in, but they had good numbers for the women's game as well, and I didn't realise it's only the second time they've played it in New Zealand, in Aotearoa, you know. It was like, I remember the first game, I remember being in Aotearoa, and I was just like, oh, no, that's cool. I had it in my head that they'd played that Indigenous game a few times over here, but no, not even. But the girls team, to see how girls get up, I think they jumped to like, it must have been 14, 16 nil.
14 nil,
it was just like, oh, wow, okay, this is cool. But that third quarter, fourth quarter, the Ebo girls, they just pretty much, they look like bloody men anyway. They super fit, and then the fitness kind of kicked in, and then our girls started making mistakes and penalties, and I was just like, wagga. But entertaining game, and there was a few Warriors girls in there too, so that was good to see, and they ripped it hard. Actually, oh no, sorry, and then the men's game. So, what did you think of the haka, right? Well, when the Ebos done their like, because they had a bit of an island flavour to it. Because usually they got the didgeridoo going, and you know, but they all had their spears and stuff. I was kind of watching. I was thinking, okay, that must be. I was actually watching with my bro Polder, and he said to me, that must be like the Torres Strait Islanders flavour to it. You know, that they've added it to it. Because it was pretty cool, bro. It was pretty cool how they kind of walked up to our boys with their spears and kind of got right in their face, and it was like, I don't know if you've seen it, but like years ago there was like some young fellas had like an Indigenous game like that. It was against the Māoris, but it kind of got real heated and got right in their faces and started a fight. This is before the game, so they but yeah, you know, but then when the boys kicked off with the haka, oh, bro, that was, I don't know what you fellas thought of the haka, but I just like how their kapaka group come out, they started the haka, they split away, then the team came up, and I was just like, bro, that was gangster, bro. Props to the Waikato, you know, Tainui, they turned it on. The whole pre-game stuff was, they pretty much aced it, bro. You know, even the commentators were loving it. So yeah, but the game. What do you boys think of the game?
In terms of, I'll just even go back to the women's game. That was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, bro.
And what I was going to say is that, I feel like just the Indigenous girls, or the Indigenous Aboriginal girls, they were just sort of they're, I guess, smaller and quicker ladies just figured out, you know, we need to kind of play them faster, and kind of figured out the ladies team. So yeah, that was an interesting game. And then in terms of the men's, I thought we were going to get wiped out. And when I say us, I was thinking Māori. Like, man, this first quarter is going a bit too fast in terms of the scoreline. You know, lucky one of those tries got pulled back. I was like, man, I hope this isn't for the full 80. So credit to the Māori boys for getting back into it. Well, credit to our Warriors boys in that first try. I think there was a Warriors combo. It was like first chance, and then to Laban for the try. I was like, cool. Let's see that in our Warriors team this year, right? Let's see some of that. So that was cool to watch. And then one thing I have to comment, like, game was cool, and you know, in some ways it was, I think, cool to see it end in a draw. Obviously, you want to see a winner. You can see the boys were they wanted to go in the OT, but you know, it's like, you know, culture's the winner at the end of the day. I kind of felt like that. But one thing I have to pick up, and I'm like, I don't know if it's my own bias or just the way that I was watching the game, but I was like, was it Warriors just dropping the ball the whole time? Like, us there, Korero do something on the other side. I'm like, shucks, it feels like it's our boys doing all the errors. It kind of felt like, but I enjoyed the game, and I just think, you know, from a again, culture perspective, and I know what's his name, Fish, and also Nico talked at the end around the potential scrapping of the game. You know, I hope not. I kind of hope it not even just a start of the year kind of thing, but even like extending this out to a greater tournament of some sort, where you're able to involve other, you know, cultures and sides. Because I've always talked about, and especially in other years, like, what about a heritage comp? Bro, that would be something cool to see. But yeah, I think for me it was just proof is there that there is definitely something here that should continue, not just because of me being Māori, but just me being a fan of the sport and wanting to see more kind of football played at this type of year.
Yeah, man.
And then I did think Kenny deserved the player of the day. I think, wow, man, for a small dude, like bro gets hit, whacked, and still gets up. But even just his, every time he touches the ball, kind of similar to Reece Walsh, you like feel like something's going to happen. Like you feel there's something's going to come off it. But yeah, I just couldn't stop cracking up. Like every time I'd I'd often watch something else and turn my eyes back to it, be it Warriors dropping the ball or Warriors doing something. Dang. Might be my bias, but that's what it felt like.
Yeah. Oh, hard case, my bro. What do you think, Damien? What's your take on it, bro?
So I didn't watch the woman. Yeah, I don't normally watch the woman. That's just my personal thing, But I did appreciate the haka, and I really liked how Adam Blair and the other coaches were at the back of it as well, getting involved. Instead of just sitting in their boxes watching on. So that was cool. But yeah, just such a awesome way to open the league season, in my opinion. I've always really enjoyed the All Stars game, whether it was Indigenous versus Māori or Indigenous versus the NRL All Stars. It was always just something to look forward to. Very exciting match. I thought Indigenous, they're just so classy in their backline, I really think they had us over the barrel a little bit as far as their backs go. But I feel like our Māori boys, they stepped up in the forwards, and we did well. We did well. I was, like Ty, expecting a bit of a blowout earlier in the game, but it was cool that we were able to settle for a draw. I know the players were quite disappointed, and some of them were actually quite surprised that a draw occurred. And I'm like, bro, how can you be playing in this game and not know the rules, that if it's a fucking draw, it's a fucking draw, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, I enjoyed it. Always enjoy those games.
Yeah. And you're right too, Todd. That whole, because the Aussie commentary during the week had been talking about, it's a time to scrap the Indigenous game, and it's just like, wow, really?
Right.
Yeah. So, but I agree with you too, bro. There should be, they like that Indigenous team definitely should be given a series to play against, like either the Kiwis or Toa Samoa, Matumatonga, one of the Bati, against Fiji, whoever, because that's a stacked team, man.
Thank you.
They're not second stringers. They hold their own, and it was who was the so Thompson pulled up injured, and the prop Mooney
Trey Mooney.
Who does he play for?
Used to be Raiders.
Used to be Raiders, but then didn't he go to the Dragons or something like that? I'm not too sure.
The Knights.
The Knights of it.
Okay. But I didn't even realize he's Māori. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Big boy.
Yeah, big unit, bro.
Yep.
And even Hunt. I thought Hunt played well.
Yeah.
But it's like, given the opportunity to those higher honours, and it's like, even to jump in the Indigenous game, and the importance of how much those players are passionate and want to play and rip those colours, is just like, surely the Indigenous, the Abo team should be given a, because really that's it for the year. They don't get to play it again until 12 months from now. It's just, If they could have some form of Indigenous heritage series, then I reckon that would go off, bro.
Yeah.
Totally. And I know we'll get into the origin eligibility stuff, but I know we were talking in the chat around kind of the World Cup as well, and how strong, Australia could probably put out 6 sides and have pretty strong sides. I remember you mentioned Damien. I even think, even if it's not a heritage comp, I'm like, Australia, man, like you guys got a Indigenous Aboriginal team that I would use as a trial team against us, because you guys would be able to, like, you've got a good enough squad, because obviously some of them get picked for Australia, but there's still a lot of talent that they could trial against and have to play the Tonga, Samoa, New Zealand's to actually get really good games. So I'm like, man, Australia missing out on the chance to really benefit, to be honest. The fact that you've got that talent pool, and then they will come together for that. So that was just me thinking. But hey, we don't care about Australia here. We're all about Kiwis out here. In terms of the game, one thing I wanted to say, who was quite impressive, and I hope he has a good, from a Kiwis perspective, but also just as a player in the Māori team, was Toilau. I think he played pretty mean. I've always seen him play halves, but he's saying he's a specialist hooker. But just the way, I thought he brought a bit of energy to the Māori side that got them into it.
Bro.
So just special mention to the way that he played. That was cool to watch.
Yep. Yeah, he was such an injection, eh? It was really good to see him out there.
Yeah, bro. The other Māori's hooker, was it Doherty? He did. What was his name, bro?
Yeah.
He played well. He did play well. But between him and that Toilau, they complemented each other nicely. So yeah. But like if they can get some sort of series going, I mean, obviously we're just daydreaming, because the obvious standout time, the only time they can do it is during Origin, because that's the only other break we get besides at the end of the season when the international window opens, and you have your test matches and stuff. So yeah. So if they could make that happen, I reckon it would be a good thing. More so not just for the island communities, but the Indigenous communities themselves. They get into it. It just you get far more buy into it, I reckon. But again, that's just my take on it. Who's that? Sorry, bro, I haven't got my glasses on.
I think it's Zach, but I think I think him and Jazz are talking in our comments to each other.
Oh, sorry, boys. Yeah. So, state origin, the eligibility rules.
I do want to say one thing. Just go back to the Indigenous game. Again, I don't know how this would happen, and maybe there's some politics to it that I don't understand. But I know for Māori, they have a national tournament where they pick a national team that I think, from my understanding, play the Auckland Rugby League team at the end of the year. So there's a national Māori team that versus Auckland Rugby League team. But I also know within the Indigenous Australia kind of sphere, they have the Kuri knockout and the Maori knockout. It'd be so cool if there was like an Indigenous, like grassroots Australian team that versus the New Zealand grassroots Māori team as a precursor as well. I think that would add atmosphere. I feel like there's, it's cool actually seeing now, the top flight play as well. But I'm like, man, it'll be cool to see grassroots teams that, I don't know whether it's the team that wins the tournament for the Māori and then the team that wins a knockout tournament between the winners of both the Kuri and Maori knockouts. But yeah, that would be a cool concept. I would love to see.
And again, I'll just add my 5 cents to that. Like, because traditionally, when you think of some of those, there's always been sprinkling of like the Aboriginal players throughout the history of the Kangaroos. They've just been guns, but they're guys that have made a real difference in those teams. Had they not been a part of it, yeah, they still would have been good teams. But the Abo players themselves, they're like the Māori players. They bring their own flavour, And when you bring the Indigenous game together like that, the way they have, like switching from an All-Stars team to a Māori's team, it's set a really, really nice platform because there's massive buy-in, from both cultures, the men and the women. They want to rep that. They want to play in the game, and 2, just repping their people, their culture. And it's just like, I just love it. I love it when they're given the time to shine. It's just a shame that it's only like right at the start of the season.
Yep.
So how do you? I guess the question I'm asking is how do you go about growing it? Because the flip side to that coin is there's that commentary about maybe it's run its course. Let's just let it die a natural death. That for me is like ignorance. It's kind of like, well, that's the money making side of the board decisions, whatever. And it's like you're kind of missing the point, and the point being when you've made this platform for Indigenous players to stand on, of course they're going to play their best game. They're the games they play are quality. Why wouldn't you build on that? It's like how can you be talking about wanting to scrap something that obviously has a massive fan base? Everyone and peeps just want to watch it. They want to see it played. It's just for me, it's like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that they want to try and cut that one off. Anyway, good. It was a good way to end the weekend. Really, get to watch that game. Caught a couple of the other trial matches, but yeah. My mate, as I went to, he was saying the atmosphere in Napier was just electric, and loved it. So so it. I mean, it's just a trial game. Again, we'll see how the boys roll out. This Friday. We'll bring on what day? I think it's like the 6th of March, the boys play. Is it the 6th or 7th? And that, our round one game is our Mount Smart against the Roosters. So really looking forward to that. I can't remember if it's the 6th or the 7th of March. Let's just pull that one up. Anyway, while we're waiting, the State of Origin. Oh, it's the 6th?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Right. Yeah. Run us through those new eligibility rules.
Do you want me to run it through?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah, I was happy to. I'm actually just trying to find the post itself. I know we were talking it in our channel, but from what I remember is that, here we go. And it should have took off Tyron memory. It should actually use one of the posts so we actually get accurate information. And shout out to, I think Jazz put up a comment around the terminology Abo being a derogatory term. I think thank you for letting us know. I don't think part of this too, like I think what I've enjoyed from this experience, I don't know how other fans are, but like actually seeing a bit more of the Indigenous, Australian culture, it's actually been cool. Like I feel like even just watching how they do, their pre-game, for us it's the haka, for them, I actually can't remember what the terminology was, but like just seeing it, like that's how you guys, interpret this kind of space. That's been interesting. Like I think I've been doing a lot of learning and understanding of how they kind of go about things. So yeah, I think this is part of the conversation, right? Is making sure that we can use the right terminology. But in terms of the updated Origin eligibility rules, the ARL or ARLC today announced that the modernization of State of Origin international eligibility rules to reflect the continued growth and global strength of rugby league. Under the updated rules, any player who meets the existing State of Origin eligibility criteria will be able to play State of Origin regardless of the nation they represent in international fixtures. Previously, players were required to be eligible to represent Australia or a two-tier nation as defined by International Rugby League. The updated rules remove the selection, allowing players who represent Tier 1 nations and who meet the traditional State of Origin criteria to now be eligible. The change reflects the strength of international game and the significant growth of rugby league, particularly across the Pacific. So the core State of Origin eligibility criteria remains unchanged. So a player was born in New South Wales or Cook Islands. Oh, I'm extending this. Queensland, sorry, put it out there. The player resided in New South Wales or Queensland prior to their 13th birthday, or the player's father plays State of Origin. So that's the rules. What are everyone's thoughts on it?
Father and mother? Father.
Just says father.
Father, yeah. I noticed that too. Hey, maybe in a couple of years I'll adapt that to include the woman as well, right?
New South Wales.
Yeah. I think it's absolutely amazing ruling. It's going to strengthen the international game. It's going to allow some of our Kiwi boys to potentially fulfill a dream of playing for either New South Wales or Queensland without having to represent Australia as opposed to representing New Zealand. I just think it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and we did talk about this in the chat space. I guess my take on it is the whole, like, I vehemently just steer away from Origin. And I'm all for those players that are given the opportunity to rip those jerseys. Man, all good. Go hard. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Whatever. But like, I'm always going to hold test matches well above Origin, even though that's not the case. State Origin is the pinnacle of rugby league, but it's, for me, State Origin is the pinnacle of rugby league in Australia. It does have a wide fan base, and it is getting wider, and I can accept that. But it just, and for the longest time, it's only been to the detriment of other teams, especially us as Kiwis, the Kiwi players, and all the test matches and blah blah blah. So yeah, but yeah, you did make a really good point about that whole like given the international exposure, Damien, that so if Kiwi players can play for Queensland or State of Origin and still be eligible for the Kiwis,
provided they meet that criteria. Yep. Instead of, for what's been happening for decades now, Australia has had this carrot in front of players. You want to play Origin, you can't play for the Kiwis. You can't play for England either, but a lot of the time is you can't play for the Kiwis because that's a tier 1 nation. So out of all the nations that are going to benefit from this ruling, in my opinion, it's New Zealand.
It's Kiwis.
It's the Kiwis.
Yeah.
Agree. And I think that's why, like, I've been probably like yourself, real in the sense of, like, maybe when I was younger, I was like, man, love this game, awesome, don't care who's beating each other up. It's good to see like good quality football. But I guess as I grew older and kind of realized, what the challenges were, especially as a Kiwis fan, I'm like, nah, stuff this game. Like, you kind of have to create this ultimatum. And I know there's the rhetoric and the narrative out there that, well, they should pick. But I think we live in such a multi-cultured society now that, a lot of the kids that are coming through are both.
Sure.
So you're splitting them based on, I guess, a narrative that existed so many years ago where it was easy to pick. You either, you're one or the other. It's not so easy to pick that these days. So I think what's really good about these eligibility rules, it doesn't mean that anyone can play. There's still eligibility around those certain 3 things that were mentioned. But at the same time, like, I think about a Casey McLean. I don't know if he's like 4th running centre to be in that. If there's, I think he'll be New South Wales. I don't know if he's right there, but he's close, and he's born in New South Wales. He chose to pick Kiwis, which I think it's really awesome that he did. But I'm like, why can't he? He's born in that country, and all you're doing is blocking him from representing. He's not even going to play Australia. All he's saying is that I'll play for where I'm born, but I'm going to go, like all our Pacific brothers and sisters, are going to go play for their culture. So, yeah, I just think the actual big winner in this is New Zealand. I'm not going to give Aussie any praise for this. I'm like, it's been a long time coming for you guys to do this. So glad to see it. But I think from a game standpoint, I think it's going to, really take off as well. Who I think loses out on this, and we just have to put it out there, I think Aussie lose out in the long term. So, they had to make that decision with that in mind as well. But yeah, I just think it's actually really good for the game. It's really helpful for us Kiwis. In the chat, it got me theorizing. I'm like, okay, cool. So who are those players that have played for now Australia that still may want to play Origin but can make their way over to the Kiwis? Like Kalen Ponga comes to mind. Even considering the likes of a Wade Egan that probably wanted to play New South Wales, but maybe had to go to the Australian side now, thinking maybe I can play New South Wales, and maybe something like the Kiwis might offer me because I've been here for long enough. So yeah, this starts opening the ball game for who's eligible for the Kiwis as well, and doesn't have to worry about whether Origin's going to stuff them up or not. The only thing I wanted to comment, and I mentioned in our chat that we had, is that I do think there needs to be some type of and it's not even rule, but something that sets, like, within a World Cup cycle, that you have to elect your country that you want to play with. And this is merely from a picking, as a coach, you don't have to worry about if your player is going to, as Kiwis, we've experienced it, and which wasn't a bad thing at the end of the day, but it's like, cool, we know these guys for the next 4 years are saying New Zealand's their first team and maybe Australia's their second team if they don't get picked. But I think there's something that needs to be done on that thing from how do we choose players when we don't know exactly who they're choosing. And maybe that's been made available, or there is something around it, but I think there needs to be something around that to clear it up for coaching that are picking sides every World Cup year anyway. So that's just my thoughts around it.
No, it's a good thought.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I think, like in regards to that Origin eligibility, I'd like to think that the Kiwis are going to win out, but I reckon Samoa and Matamatonga, bro, because the Island boys that play Origin as well, like they've all defected, and they've always had to walk on ice or choose their steps wisely in regards to, you're turning your back. But if the NRL or whoever, the Australian Rugby League Commission, if they've opened that opportunity up, then all power to those island teams as well. It's going to be it's just what rugby league's needed. We've needed it for such a long time. And when you think we won that World Cup back in 2008, bro, that was like 18 years ago. So it's well overdue, the whole. And we've had a sprinkling of wins, but to see Tonga and Samoa come out the way they have, especially in the last 5, 6 years, 7 years, that's what rugby league needs. This section of wanting to rep your country, and because when those boys defected, when they turned their back on the Kiwis and the Kangaroos, the quality that went with them, and when you stack that up, you only have to look at the Pac Champs last year. Those were quality games. The style of league they were playing, it was just good. It was awesome to watch. And when you couldn't even, and we did mention this last year, but the comparison between the Pac Champs and the Ashes, it was like apples and oranges. They were completely different. And the Pac Champs came up shining. So I'm always gonna. And for me, it's just that the Aussies have kind of. I'm hoping they've turned the corner. Yeah, because they've had it their way for so long now. So it's kind of like, if it levels it out, not just for the Kiwis, but for the island nation teams, and that's going to be a good thing, especially when you consider, like, again, in theory, and this wouldn't be a bad thing either, but if a World Cup final came down to where there wasn't a Kiwis team in there or a Kangaroos team, that would be awesome for.
That'd be huge.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's not this year. But it'd be crazy.
And again, because this is stuff that we talked about in our comments, but it was kind of like the whole. I feel like, based on the weight of what the Kiwis done last year, we've earned the right to go on as contenders, as red hot favourites, into this World Cup. The Kangaroos are going to talk themselves up anyway. They always do. But that's because of the quality of the opposition against us in the Pac Champs. That's their whole iron sharpens iron stuff. We won it, but we had to win it the hard way, and they weren't easy wins. So this year's World Cup, it's going to be like if Matema Tonga and Samoa, if they can pull off an upset this World Cup in 8-9 months, that's going to be awesome for the game, bro. They knock the Kiwis off, or they knock the Kangaroos off. I won't be so upset, because it's just like, it's just good. It's just good for rugby league in general. I'll be sad, but I won't be as sad as I'll be cracking up if the fucking Kangaroos get knocked out, because. Yeah,
you won't be sad with the Kangaroos.
Honestly, bro, I would laugh my ass off. Because it has. It's always been like the Kangaroos, Kiwis, Poms, and then everyone else. Whereas it really is it's starting to level out, and that's because of the quality of the players. And if Origin has but again, it's only gonna apply to those specific players. So those that are involved in Origin and in camp, all good. It prepares them well for the World Cup coming up. But there's still that conundrum of all the other players that play for the Kiwis or Samoa or Tonga, whatever, Fiji, the Cook Islands. It's just that unfair advantage that they have. They've played a 3-game series that's super hard, prepares them well, comes World Cup, they're already 3 steps ahead of us, kind of thing. That's always been my thinking. They Origin will always give the Aussies a leg up when it comes to internationals. But that's just my 5 cents, bro. Yeah. Shucks, I've been ignoring these comments. Kia ora whānau. 2026, nice. That's right, my bro. Was there anything else you boys wanted to add? Because that's pretty much it on my list.
Did you cover how State of Origin is officially coming to New Zealand next year?
No, we did
that's
not,
right.
It's a pretty big conversation piece right there.
This year, next year.
Next year, bro. Eden Park.
Wow.
State of Origin.
Yep.
You gonna go, bro?
To be honest, probably not, just because it'll be so expensive just to get my ass to Auckland. Yeah. But yeah, it would be fucking awesome to see, no doubt.
Yeah.
What
about you, Todd?
Well, again, now with these eligibility rules, I'm a lot more accepting of Origin. Let's put it that way. So,
nice.
I think for me, what's more interesting is the World Cup this year. But now that if I see a few Kiwis sprinkled, I'm like, because where I'm living, Eden Park ain't too far. I'm far away, but in the Auckland terms, it's I'm far away. But in terms of where everyone else is around the country, I'm sure we're pretty close. So yeah, I know maybe it's on the cards. I think the thing for me with Origin, why I've always probably not watched it too, this adds to it, is that those games are too late, eh? By the time I catch the first part, I'm already snoring in the next part. So it's always been a struggle. But I think for me too, what I wanted to talk about with with the game and where it's going because to your point, Rio, I've always had that now, damn, it actually does help them, come together and, get better. And I think to your point, I think a lot of these teams that, like our tier 2 nations that have done really well is because they have had boys play in these kind of environments, let alone good teams, but these environments where they bring it back to their teams.
Yep.
So, it's hard not to attribute that something like a State of Origin is bringing all that to them. What I find interesting about this conversation, I'm just speaking it out loud, is that I think a lot of people think that because people are deflecting, that everyone's going to deflect. I'm like, these squads can only have 30 max.
Yeah.
You get to a point where not everyone can fit. So and everyone's like, I'm sure everyone's the same and says we don't want the second scraps. I'm like, no, there's gonna be people that I don't want to go there anyway. You're gonna still get people that stay strong where they want to be. And the reason why I would love to see a rule something where the people have to pick a first country and pick a second country is that if you think about the age of how long you play the game, you're lucky to get in the game at 18 and probably lucky to get into your mid-30s to finish it. You're only going to last 3 to 4 World Cup cycles. So it's not like they're going to be jumping so far. I think that's what people's fear is, that one year they go play for Australia, next year they go play for New Zealand. But I'm like, some of these teams are going to be like, nah, are you down for us or what? There's going to be a lot of these kind of just typical things that happen around trying to build a culture and build a team. But I also think it can be strengthened by the fact of having some type of thing that allows people to, yes, you can go to your teams, but let's make it easy on selectors. Let's make it easy on coaching to know that these are the players that are putting their hand up this World Cup session. So yeah, I think there's a thing that could be a bit more tightened in my view, but I do think this is heading in the right direction for the game. And again, won't give Aussie all the credit because they've had the blessings of having this in the first place, but they've actually taken they're taking a hit here, which is about time.
It's
about time.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And I am looking forward to this year's. It's an Aussie, the World Cup. Are all the games in Aussie?
And one's here in New Zealand.
Yeah, most of it's in Australia.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Oh, in that case, yeah, it's going to be, and I mean, the season hasn't even started yet. We haven't even really touched base with the Warriors, but really looking forward to the World Cup. And yeah, just again, like the Pac champs last year, it'll be a good test for Stacey. To see how he sews this team together, rolling into the World Cup, because he does have some pretty good talent, and if those Kiwis can stay match fit, well, hopefully for the duration of the season, come the World Cup, they're ready to roll. It's going to be like, oh my goodness. Yeah, because it's been a while since the Kiwis have had some depth like this, that we can call on. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward. Was there anything else you boys wanted to mention?
I think we'll probably find another time in these Monday night corridor, but I guess with the game coming up this week, is there any combinations we want to see? Obviously, we want to see some type of starting 13 hopefully take place in the first kind of couple quarters. Actually, I got a second question. How have people been finding the quarters? I know they've kind of done it most years to kind of do it as like a water break. Obviously, weather's always impacted that because it's obviously a lot hotter at the start of the year, so break it out and make these games. But this is such a side conversation, but also like tied into it. I think one of the big things that a lot of these, if I think about international games, I take NFL. I know you're a fan of it, Damien.
Yeah, right.
But I kind of watch basketball, and they have so many breaks. But I think part of it is so then big companies can show ads and get a lot of this revenue within to their game.
Okay.
I wasn't too mad at these quarters. I do like watching the game when you got tired bodies at the end of a half trying to figure it out. But I don't know. I'm like, can the game scale with this quarter thing and run it through the season and add more ad break, add more money, revenue for the game? I don't know. There was just something about me where I was like, I wasn't too mad at it. But you do like watching tired bodies at the like 30th, 40th, 35 minute trying to struggle too. But yeah, I just wondered too, what was your guys' perception of seeing quarters and if you could see a whole NRL season doing that?
Yeah, I guess for me, it's only I've only really thought of it as a pre-season thing, because of the weather conditions, whatever. Trying to, as opposed to dropping the boys straight into 2 40-minute halves. It's never crossed my mind that it could be a potential income revenue, money gaining thing for the sponsors. I mean, obviously the players would like it. It would suck if you're getting a roll on and it's the end of the quarter. That would kill your momentum. But I'm not here or there on it, bro. I've always only thought of it as like a pre-season thing. Yeah, to take it into the actual season. Yeah, that's a good question, bro. I do like that. I can't kind of lock down on an answer.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What about you,
for myself, I'm okay with it at the moment. Being early season and pre-season and whatnot, and like when the season kicks off, I'm sure places like North Queensland, for example, they're going to be doing it due to the incredible temperatures that the boys are going to have to play in. So, player safety and all that. But when all that is done and dusted, I much prefer the 40-minute game myself. That's the game that I've watched for like 36 years. I'm not really wanting to see it change too much, and that would be a really big change. And as far as advertisers and all that, like, I'm sure we've got enough advertisements as it is. Every time there's a video ref there, you see Bundaberg rum or fucking KFC or whatever the hell, So there's plenty of advertisements as it is. Even those ones that are digitally added to the field, where you look at certain camera angles and there's nothing there, but you just look at a certain camera angle and there's some company's logo. So I don't think we need more ads added to the game. But I understand what you're saying. Definitely a bit of a revenue maker potentially, but no, I reckon keep it to 40 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
absolutely.
I'm with you. And I think there's something about the game where, especially again into those end of the halves, where you start seeing coaching tactics play out. Where you start, whether it's a rainy game, you inject some more bigger boys to be more stable, or you actually inject some more faster pace onto it. It changes the dynamic of the game. And I think league and even likes of the rugby are quite similar in that sense of like it adds another dynamic. But I think part of me is also thinking too, is watching us like, wonder if they're conditioning us to see if we like this.
Well, yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
what we're going to do is like, oh, cool, you guys like it. We're going to add not just halftime entertainment, there's quarter entertainment, there's as we roll. We're going to make this game big across the world. That's all I got thinking. But hey, that's just a random thought, and I thought I'd ask the question.
Oh, no,
good question.
Yeah, bro, that's all good. You just reminded me. I'll bring it up next week. But through some of those other trial games, some of the tries that were scored, and I'm thinking of the Doggies one. The letter of the law, the Doggies got denied a try. I think it was Korero was offside or something, but the try got denied. And as opposed to back in the day, it would have just been left to play on. But there was a few tries across the games where the refs had kind of cut in, and it was like real legalistic, the explanations behind why they pulled it up and why they denied the tries, and I was just like, hey, what the fuck? I'll say that for next Monday. But because it just caught my attention. I was just like, is this another evolution of rugby league? The way we're kind of heading and stuff. Oh, and the amount of forward passes, even just the slight passes, I was just like, oh, across the board. Wasn't just the Waahs. All the games, I was just like, holy. It was almost like, is this where things are heading? Because honestly, I mean, if they're going to iron it out, say if next kickoff for next weekend, all the forward pass stuff gets ironed out, then it's like, oh yeah, okay, it was just a one-off. But yeah, it was those little things that were noticed. It was those little things that we noticed. That's pretty much it for tonight. So, but before we bounce, and my apologies to the comments crew, when I was saying, well, yeah, the indigenous names and stuff. Flip side to that, a lot of the times I'm not politically correct. So if I'm saying Ebo, that's just me. It's no reflection of the Warriors Fan TV crew. It's like I've got a mate that's Ebo. She loves the culture, and I can call her that. Well, actually, we're drinking at the same time, but anyway, in no way, shape, or form do I mean it in a derogatory form. So my apologies if it comes across like that. But it's like, for me, it's like calling a Māori a hori. It's kind of like we get called that all the time. You get used to it. Again, but don't want to be offending anyone. If it slips out, my bad. But yeah, thought a bit of mention that one before we knock it off. That's pretty much full time for tonight. So thanks to the crew and the comments crew. Shop fellas, didn't really get to read any of your comments, but we're back next Monday. 7:00 kickoff. Thanks, Ty. Thanks, Damien. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, bro.
Nick sent an apology, so hopefully he'll be there next week. He slept in.
All good.
Yeah. Hope Times is doing well. Hope Times is fine. Is all well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you just reminded me, Ty. Yeah, all this bad weather across the country. I hope peeps are okay. Hunker down again if the whole whenua wasn't too bad. So we're all good where we are. But across the motu, wherever you are, hope you're safe. Yeah, shout out to Tons again. Just look after yourself, bro, and your whānau. But yeah, thanks heaps for jumping in, fellas. We will catch up with you next Monday.
Sounds good.
Yeah, bro.
Afterwards.
No.
Go to the fucking Warriors.
Yeah, there it is. Love it. Fucking Waahs, go the fuck.